Alright, let's see. I'm not going to my Auto Monument anymore, bro. This doesn't work anyway, right? That's stupid.
This is really good though. I have a lot of weddings now. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything. I got more than one goat next to each other? Yeah, just, the goat just fucking rammed a creeper. What the hell? I didn't know they did that. The goat just fucking hit the creeper. Holy fuck. It's got 50, but that's still nice. beautiful. Oh fuck.
아, 씨, 왜,也不会不玩吧？那肯定得玩。不玩的话，那你放假有什么意义？那我玩，你一般都是。
Welcome home, bastard. Followed by the shadowy male voice saying, I sensed you were back. More filled me in, but that strange female voice cut him off.
Any fucking tree, you know?
Send your dogs out in the yard to play, Resand. You and I have matters to discuss. That midnight voice said with quiet cold that leaped down my spine, as do I. Then the cocky one drawled to her, we were here first. Wait your turn, tiny ancient one. On either side of me, Nuala and Caradwin flinched, either from holding in laughter or some message, or perhaps both. Definitely both, as a feminine snarl sliced through the house, albeit a bit half-heartedly. The upstairs hall was punctuated with chandeliers of swirl-colored glass, illuminating the few polished doors on either side. I wondered which belonged to Resand, and then wondered which one belonged to Moore as I heard her yawn amid the fray below. Why is everyone here so early? I thought we were meeting tonight at the house. Below, Resand grumbled. Trust me, there's no party, only a massacre if Cassian doesn't shut his mouth. We're hungry. That first male, Cassian, complained. Feed us. Someone told me there'd be breakfast. Pathetic. That strange female voice clicked. You idiots are pathetic. Moore said, we know that's true, but is there food? I heard the words, heard and processed them, and then they floated into the blackness of my mind. Nuala and Caradwin opened the door, leading to a fire-warmed, sunlit room. It faced a walled, winter-kissed garden in the back of the townhouse, the large windows peering over the sleeping stone fountain in its center, drained for the season. Everything in the bedroom itself was of rich wood and soft white, with touches of subtle sage. It felt, strangely enough, almost human. And the bed, massive, plush, adorned in quilts and duvets of cream and ivory to keep out the winter chill, that looked the most welcoming of all. But I wasn't so far gone that I couldn't ask a few basic questions, to at least give myself the illusion of caring a bit about my own welfare. Who was that? I managed to say as they shut the door behind us. Nuala headed for the small attached bathing room. White marble, clawfoot tub, more sunny windows that overlooked the garden wall, and a thick line of cypress trees that stood watch behind it. Caradwin, already stalking for the armoire, cringed a bit and said over his shoulder, "There are Resand's inner circle."
Which one do I go?
The ones I'd heard mentioned.
I can go both, I guess. I could go to the left one and then.
Louise kept going to me. I wasn't aware that High Lords kept things so casual, I admitted. They don't, Nuala said, returning from the bathing room with a brush. But Resand does. Apparently my hair was a mess, because Nuala brushed it as Caradwin pulled out some ivory sleeping clothes, a warm and soft lace-trimmed top and pants. I took in the clothes, then the room, then the winter garden and the slumbering fountain beyond, and Resand's earlier words clicked into place.
Shit.
The walls of this city have not been breached for 5,000 years. Meaning, Amarantha. How is this city here? I met Nuala's gaze in the mirror. How did it survive? Nuala's face tightened, and her dark eyes flicked to a twin, who slowly rose from the dresser drawer, fleece-lined slippers firmly in hand. Caradwyn's throat bobbed as she swallowed. The High Lord is very powerful, Caradwyn said, carefully, and was devoted to his people long before his father's mantle passed to him. How did it survive? I pushed. A city? A lovely one if the sounds from my window, the garden beyond it were any indication, lay all around me, untouched, whole, safe, while the rest of the world had been left to ruin. The twins exchanged looks again, some silent language they'd learned in the room passing between them. Nuala set down the brush on the vanity. It is not for us to tell. He asked you not to... No, Caradwyn interrupted, folding back the covers of the bed. The High Lord made no such demand. But what he did to shield this city is his story to tell, not ours. We would be more comfortable if he told you, lest we get any of it wrong. I glared between them. Fine. Fair enough. Caradwyn moved to shut the curtains, sealing the room in darkness. My heart stumbled, taking my anger with it, and I blurted, "Leave them open." It couldn't be sealed up and shut in darkness. Not yet. Caradwyn nodded and left the curtains open, both of the twins telling me to send word if I needed anything before they departed. Alone, I slid into the bed, hardly feeling the softness, the smoothness of the sheets. I listened to the crackling fire, the chirp of birds in the garden's potted evergreens, so different from the spring-sweet melodies I was used to, that I might never hear or be able to endure again. Maybe Amarantha had one after all. And some strange new part of me wondered if my never returning might be a fitting punishment for him, for what he had done to me. Sleep claimed me, swift and brutal and deep. Chapter 15. I awoke 4 hours later. It took me minutes to remember where I was, what had happened. And each tick of the little clock on the rosewood writing desk was a shove back into that heavy dark. But at least I wasn't tired, weary, but no longer on the cusp of feeling like sleeping forever. I'd think about what happened at the spring court later. Tomorrow. Never. Mercifully, Rhysand's inner circle left before I'd finished dressing. Rhys was waiting at the front door, which was open to the small wood and marble antechamber, which, in turn, was open to the street beyond. He ran an eye over me, from the suede navy shoes, practical and comfortably made, to the knee-length sky-blue overcoat, to the braid that began on one side of my head and curved around the back. Beneath the coat, my usual flimsy attire had been replaced by thicker, warmer brown.
Is it not a trade anymore?
Pretty cream sweater.
Did they cancel it?
Too soft I could have slept in.
Did they cancel it? Okay, let me see.
My shoes had already been
Or am I just unlucky?
Deep pockets. Those two certainly liked
It's
the
crazy,
bus,
right?
Rhysand said.
It's kind of crazy,
But
brother.
something about it was strange as we headed out the front door. Each step toward that bright threshold was both an eternity and an invitation. For a moment, the weight in me vanished as I gobbled down the details of the emerging city. Buttery sunlight that softened the already mild winter day. A small manicured front lawn, its dried grass near white. bordered with a waist-high wrought iron fence and empty flower beds, all leading toward a clean street of pale cobblestones. High fae in various forms of dress meandered by, some in coats like mine to ward against the crisp air, some wearing mortal fashions with layers and poofy skirts and lace, some in riding leathers, all unhurried as they breathed in the salt and lemon verbena breeze that even winter couldn't chase away. Not one of them looked toward the house, as if they either didn't know or weren't worried that their own High Lord dwelled in one of the many marble townhouses lining either side of the street, each capped with a green copper roof and pale chimneys that puffed tendrils of smoke into the brisk sky. In the distance, children shrieked with laughter.
I can't believe it, bro. I mean, I don't really care that much, but
with fumbling fingers
here we go.
Hardly registered the ice-cold
Jesus
metal,
Christ.
and took all of 3 steps into the street before I halted at the sight of the other end.
Oh my god.
The street slopes down, revealing
Even
more
double
pretty
village run.
townhouses and puffing chimneys, more well-fed, unconcerned people. And at the very bottom of the hill curved the broad, winding river, sparkling like deepest sapphire, snaking toward a vast expanse of water beyond.
Oh shit.
The sea. The city had been built like a crust atop the rolling, steep hills that
Let me
flanked
just
the
get
river.
that one real quick.
The buildings crafted from white marble or warm sandstone. Ships with sails of varying shapes loitered in the river, the white wings of birds shining brightly above them in the midday sun. No monsters, no darkness, not a hint of fear, of despair. Untouched. The city has not been breached in 5,000 years. Even during the height of her dominance over Prithian, whatever Reese had done, whatever he'd sold or bartered, Amarantha truly had not touched this place. The rest of Prithian had been shredded, then left to bleed out over the course of 50 years, yet Valaris? My fingers curled into fists. I sensed something looming and gazed down to the other end of the street. There, like eternal guardians of the city, towered a wall of flat-topped mountains of red stone, the same stone that had been used to build some of the structures. They curved around the northern edge of Valaris to where the river bent toward them and flowed into their shadow. To the north, different mountains surrounded the city, across the river. A range of sharp peaks like fish's teeth cleaved to the city's merry hills from the sea beyond. But these mountains behind me, they were sleeping giants, somehow alive, awake. As if in answer, that undulating, slithering power slid along my bones, like a cat brushing against my legs for attention. I ignored it. The middle peak, Reese said from behind me, and I whirled, remembering he was there. He just pointed toward the largest of the plateaus. Holes and windows seemed to have been built into the uppermost part of it. And flying toward it, borne on large, dark wings, were 2 figures. That's my other home in this city, the House of Wind. Sure enough, the flying figures swerved on what looked to be a wicked, fast current. We'll be dining there tonight, he added, and I couldn't tell if he sounded irritated or resigned about it. And I didn't quite care. I turned toward the city again and said, "How?" He understood what I meant. Luck. Luck? Yes, how lucky for you, I said quietly, but not weakly, that the rest of Prithian was ravaged while your people, your city, remained safe.
Damn, I'm so lucky today.
The wind ruffled Reese's dark hair, his face unreadable. Did you even think for one moment, I said, my voice like gravel, to extend that luck to anywhere else? Anyone else? Other cities, he said calmly, are known to the world. Belarus has remained secret beyond the borders of these lands for millennia. Amarantha did not touch it because she did not know it existed. None of her beasts did. No one in the other courts knows of its existence either. How? Spells and wards and my ruthless ancestors, who were willing to do anything to preserve a piece of goodness in our wretched world. And when Amarantha came, I said, nearly spitting her.
差不多就有那个 silk
You
touch
didn't
嘛。
think to open this place as a refuge? When Amarantha came, he said, his temper slipping the leash a bit as his eyes flashed. I had to make some very hard choices, very quickly. I rolled my eyes, twisting away to scan the rolling, steep hills, the sea far beyond. I'm assuming you won't tell me about it. I had to know how he managed to save this slice of peace and beauty. Now's not the time for that conversation. Fine. I'd heard that sort of thing 1,000 times before at the spring court anyway. It wasn't worth dredging up the effort to push about it. But I wouldn't sit in my room. Couldn't allow myself to mourn and mope and weep and sleep. So I would venture out, even if it was an agony, even if the size of this place. Cauldron, it was enormous. I jerked my chin toward the city sloping down toward the river. So what is there that was worth saving at the cost of everything else? When I faced him, his blue eyes were as ruthless as the churning winter sea in the distance.
Okay, hold on.
Everything, he said.
Sheesh.
Rysand wasn't exaggerating. There was everything to see in Belarus. Tea shops with delicate tables and chairs scattered outside their cheery fronts, surely heated by some warming spell, all full of chattering, laughing high fae, and a few strange, beautiful fairies. There were 4 main market squares, palaces they were called, 2 on this side, the southern side, of the Sidla River, 2 on the northern. In the hours that we wandered, I only made it to 2 of them. Great white stone squares flanked by the pillars supporting the carved and painted buildings that watched over them and provided a covered walkway beneath with the shops built into the street level. The first market we entered, the Palace of Thread and Jewels, sold clothes, shoes, supplies for making both, and jewelry. Endless, sparkling jewelers' shops. Yet nothing inside me stirred at the glimmer of sunlight on the undoubtedly rare fabrics spraying in the chill river breeze, at the clothes displayed in the broad glass windows, or the luster of gold and pearl nestled on velvet beds. I didn't dare glance at the now empty finger on my left hand. Rhys entered a few of the jewelry shops, looking for a present for a friend, he said. I chose to wait outside each time, hiding in shadows beneath the palace buildings. Walking around today was enough. Introducing myself, enduring the gawking and tears and judgment. If I had to deal with that, I might very well climb into bed and never get out. But no one on the streets looked at me twice, even at Rysand's side. Perhaps they had no idea who I was. Perhaps city dwellers didn't care who was in their midst. The second market, the Palace of Bone and Salt, was one of the twin squares, one on this side of the river, the other one, the Palace of Hoof and Leaf, across it, both crammed with vendors selling meat, produce, prepared foods, livestock, confections, spices. So many spices, scents familiar and forgotten from those precious years when I had known the comfort of an invincible father and bottomless wealth. Rysand kept a few steps away, hands in his pockets as he offered bits of information every now and then. Yes, he told me, many stores and homes used magic to warm them, especially popular outdoor spaces. I didn't inquire further about it. No one avoided him. No one whispered about him, or spat on him, or stroked him under the mountain. Rather, the people that spotted him offered warm, broad smiles. Some approached, gripping his hand to welcome him back. He knew each of them by name, and they addressed him by his. But Reese grew ever quieter as the afternoon pressed on. We paused at the edge of a brightly painted pocket of the city, built atop one of the hills that flowed right to the river's edge. I took one look at the first storefront, and my bones turned brittle. The cheery door was cracked open to reveal art and paints and brushes and little sculptures. Reese said, "This is what Valaris is known for, the artist's quarter. You'll find 100 galleries, supply stores, potters' compounds, sculpture gardens, and anything in between. They call it the Rainbow of Valaris. The performing artists, the musicians, the dancers, the actors dwell on that hill right across the Sidra. You see the bit of gold glinting near the top? That's one of the main theaters. There are 5 notable ones in the city, but that's the most famous. And then there are the smaller theaters, and the amphitheater on the sea cliffs." He trailed off as he noticed my gaze drifting back to the assortment of bright buildings ahead. High Fae and various lesser fairies I'd never encountered and didn't know the names of wandered the streets. It was the latter that I noticed more than the others. Some long-limbed, hairless, and glowing, as if an inner moon dwelled beneath their night-dark skin. Some covered in opalescent scales that shifted color with each graceful step of their clawed, webbed feet. Some elegant, wild puzzles of horns and hooves and striped fur. Some were bundled in heavy overcoats, scarves, and mittens. Others strode about in nothing but their scales and fur and talons and didn't seem to think twice about it. Neither did anyone else. All of them, however, were preoccupied with taking in the sights, some shopping, some splattered with clay and dust, and paint. Artists. I'd never called myself an artist, never thought that far or that grandly, but where all that color and light and texture had once dwelled, it was only a filthy prison cell. "I'm tired," I managed to say. I could feel Reese's gaze, didn't care if my shield was up or down to ward against him reading my thoughts. But he only said, "We can come back another day. It's almost time for dinner anyway." Indeed, the sun was sinking toward where the river met the sea beyond the hills, staining the city pink and gold. I didn't feel like painting that either, even as people stopped to admire the approaching sunset, as if the residents of this place, this port, had the freedom, the safety of enjoying the sights whenever they wished, and had never known otherwise. I wanted to scream at them, wanted to pick up a loose piece of cobblestone and shatter the nearest window, wanted to unleash that power again boiling beneath my skin and tell them, show them what had been done to me, to the rest of the world, while they admired the sunsets and painted and drank tea by the river. "Easy," Reese murmured. I whipped my head to him, my breathing a bit jagged. His face had again become unreadable. "My people are blameless." That easily, my rage vanished. As if it had slipped a rung of the ladder it had been steadily climbing inside me and splattered on the pale stone street. Yes, of course they were blameless. But I didn't feel like thinking more on anything. I said again, "I'm tired." His throat bobbed, but he nodded, turning from the rainbow. "Tomorrow night we'll go for a walk. Valaris is lovely in the day, but it was built to be viewed after dark." I'd expect nothing less from the city of starlight, but words had again become difficult. But dinner, with him, at that house of wind, I mustered enough focus to say, Who exactly is going to be at this dinner? Reese led us up a steep street, my thighs burning with the movement. Had I become so out of shape? So weakened? My inner circle, he said. I want you to meet them before you decide if this is a place you'd like to stay.
啊？哎，这哥们儿，哦，原来如彼呀！他妈去带兵去了，以为他掉线了呢。全是你把环境搞坏了，上单都得跟兵走。我也不想让他跟兵走啊。咖喱奥，咖喱奥死了。拿枪来了。干嘛啊？走走走走走。你也没鞋子，你装什么呢？有好。痛苦的熔炉。 现在还挺能混的，我现在没回过城。这个。 不好意思啊，他害怕了。你怂了，那就不能怨别人了。来打我。其实我挺喜欢，挺希望他这波大我的。他大我，他爆车就丢了。你们记不记得有一个视频，说铁男把线压进去，把别人大进去，其实这样是一个道理的。跳弹应该刷新了。这不传送的啊！你干嘛啊？太大了。这个铁男是小戴。 你打过狼人吗，兄弟？狼人还有大的。完了！哎呀，怎么亚索也来了？刚刚我以为我回家了呢。耶！烧不死！在这儿赖着吧。我要去建功立业了，我不跟你在这里掺和了。下围喽！死啊！把他整死啊！哈哈哈哈！走了，这是。
trying to go that way. Yeah, let's see how it goes. There's one. Oh shit. Let's stop chasing. Anyway, I need a lava. Whatever. I'll find them later. Wait. Oh. This is crazy. Oh, I'm dead. How the fuck did it just... It fucking lagged. You can do that. It's not cool. Holy shit, holy shit. What do I do?